And are you starting to see that Donald Trump is doing some things that you like these days?
We'll see. We'll see. Well, he needs strong encouragement, but sending out tweets that saying we need to secure the border keeps suggesting to me that he isn't aware he's won the presidency.
Because he could actually do some things instead of just communicating them.
I mean, I hope he does. I'm keeping my hopes up. There's still time before the election. And if he does something big, I mean, one thing Republicans do all the time that drives me crazy, I mean, besides just sell out and wreck everything, they don't make the Democrats take votes that are difficult for them. Even if Trump thinks incorrectly he needs Congress to pass a law allowing the commander-in-chief to defend the borders, doesn't need it, but let's say so. In fact, even if he knows he doesn't need it, get the Democrats on a roll call vote before the election. Get them to vote against a wall.
And isn't the primary job, I'm not saying that it wouldn't be a good idea for the president to suggest this, but isn't this the kind of thing that Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan, the soon-to-exit Paul Ryan, should be doing all day long?
Yes, but I gave up on them a long time ago. I'm really disappointed I mean, look, he was never, one of my all-time favorites, but I liked Mitch McConnell as far as these guys went. He has really been a disaster. He always seemed, articulate, and mostly I just wanted to save the seat. In the past, as you know, my position has been, you can fight it out in the primaries, but then you have to vote for the Republican because you don't want the Senate in Democrat hands. They won't approve the judicial nominees. I mean, it really does make a big difference. So even though I would hate to vote for example, someone like Jeff Flake or John McCain, if that's your only choice, you generally my position is you have to do it. The only thing worse than Republicans is the Democrats. But now, wow, McConnell has really been a disaster.
Well, and in fact, he could be holding the feet of the Democrats to the fire right now. I mean, I didn't know this about filibusters, but when the Democrats say, we want 30 hours to debate that, and we know to a fair certainty they're not going to show up and debate something for 30 hours, you say, fine, give me the list of the 30 senators. Yeah. Because as I understand it, it's 1 hour per senator, and if you don't have 30 of them, you don't get 30 hours.
No, that's right. That's right. The way the Senate is being run is not in accordance with the Constitution. The Constitution specifically says when you need a supermajority. I think there are 5 times where you need a supermajority to approve treaties, to impeach a president. The fact that it does not say you need 2/3 vote to stop a vote, then means you don't need it. We ought to be passing laws with 51 votes. I mean, it would be better if we could get some Democrats, and I think if you put a lot of these laws to a roll call vote, you'd see a lot of Democrats coming over because they don't want to be on the record voting against things like a wall, deporting MS-13 members, that sort of thing. But the other thing that you raise is, okay, if you're going to filibuster, then you got to filibuster. You can't just drop a note in and say that, it's our intent, and that's what they allow them to do now, which isn't good. I mean, how can people vote on their representatives if they haven't been forced? I mean, in elections, if they haven't been forced to show their hands and say where they stand. I mean, anybody can go out and say, I want to create jobs, I want to protect the border, I want to help the economy, blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's see how you voted. Well, they don't have to vote. Don't make it easy for them.
No, and in fact, I think the filibuster rule does make it easy for them. But the column you write, it's a bang-up column at Coulter.com, is about the fact that you say the president got away with a real whopper because pulling out of the Iran deal was aimed at protecting America's national security, and you call that a big fat lie. I thought it was a great move to at least tell the mad mullahs that we weren't going to go along with this cockamamie deal that Obama had done. We can't claw back the money, and we can't and we can only reimpose the sanctions we're doing, but at least that would be something.
Well, let me say my main point is I'm really tired of having all of the news be about North Korea and Syria and Iran. This is not what I was expecting in an administration that was, for the first time in my life, going to put America first. We have an opioid problem. We have illegal aliens. We have a war zone at our border. We have out of work manufacturing workers. We have to get farmers to start mechanizing their operations. There's a lot that needs to. Oh my gosh, we have out of control colleges. I would so much rather have the president spend the time he has spent dealing with North Korea and Syria and Iran, do something about these lunatic colleges that your taxpayer money is paying for as they indoctrinate your children in Marxism and hating you. How about America?
Well, look what they're doing domestically. We just finished talking about the fact that New Jersey just voted to give college aid to illegal aliens. So we're going to protect Americans by pulling out of the Iran deal, which I thought was right. But then New Jersey says, hey, New Jersey taxpayers, most of you have never sat in a college classroom. Most of your kids will never go to college. But we're going to take some of your tax money and we're going to help an illegal alien who shouldn't even be here go to college.
Oh, it's outrageous. It's unbelievable. And part of what allows the left, including many in my party, the Republican Party, to get away with this is to distract people, to not talk about what's going on. I'm glad you're talking about it. But how do they distract them? Whenever I turn on Fox News and see John Bolton, I think, oh, good, nothing bad is happening. They're just droning on about some country I don't care about 7,000 miles away. And that is, I mean, every time you see someone like John Bolton or anyone else talking about Iran, North Korea, Syria, they're trying to distract you. No, it's much more important what you're talking about, Lars, that New Jersey is using taxpayer money to pay for college educations for illegals. That actually affects our lives. Syria isn't going to affect my life as long as I don't go to Syria or go to North Korea. I'm not going to be kidnapped or killed by a Syrian or North Korean.
Well, the only place I disagree with you there is if Little Rocket Man manages to put even a crude nuke on top of a missile and blow it up 30 miles up from the West Coast, all the lights go out up and down the left coast of America.
He's not going to.
Why?
Because, look, China has nukes. Pakistan has nukes. Lots of countries have nukes. They're going to get out. We can do what we can. So far, Rocket Man's nukes haven't gone very far. I think he's done all the testing he's going to do. And they keep going like, half a mile up and then falling. But this is going to be never ending, and we will never get back to America if we have to be. North Korea is China's problem. Syria is France and Germany's problem. Mexico is our problem.
And you're right.
They're distracting us from our problem by talking about other countries' problems.
And it is a clear and present danger right on our border, and we ought to get on top of it. And for the life of me, I can't understand why the president was so insistent on it during the campaign and even right after his election when he was talking to the head of Mexico, and now does not seem nearly as insistent about it, although a lot of nibbling around the edges. The Border Patrol is doing a better job and all that. And I've got to go, but I really appreciate the time tonight.
Good to talk to you, Lars. Bye-bye.
Take care, Ann. She is the author of In Trump We Trust. E Pluribus Awesome.
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.